You're still watching Today on STV, and on this interview we would be taking a look at the emergence of the APC as the second largest political party in Nigeria, and of course, what are the implications for the ruling PDP. Joining me on this edition of the program to talk about the APC is a politician, also a chieftain of the PDP, someone who has contested several elections and is still there in the biggest political party in Nigeria. Welcome with me, Sir Kayode Otitoju. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, what is your take on the assumption, or the assertion rather, that the PDP has just gotten a party that will give it a run for its money?
Yeah, it's true.
It's true?
Yeah.
Okay. And how does this bother you as a member of the PDP?
Of course, yes.
It does bother you?
Yeah.
To what extent?
To the extent that the APC is strong because of the membership from Southwest and Northwest. Strong in the sense that those two geopolitical zones put together almost half of the total registered voters in Nigeria. And which means if they can dominate those two zones 75%, then it will be difficult for PDP to have majority when it comes to presidential election. Because presidential is determined by having the majority of the votes and having 25% in 2/3 of the states of the federation. There's no problem. PDP will have 25%.
What do you base your prediction on?
Yeah, I'm saying that as at now, PDP is not strong in the Southwest and it's not strong in the Northwest. And those two geopolitical, in fact, Northwest alone has 19.8 registered voters, while the whole of South-South geopolitical zone has 8 million, while North Central has 9. So the two geopolitical zones put together, that is South-South and North Central, is just equal to Northwest alone.
All right.
These are the areas where PDP can say they can have at least 80% of the votes. So 80% of half of just one geopolitical zone can get us anywhere.
Now, does it also portend that, as some analysts have said, is this the beginning of the end for the PDP?
No. If PDP can put its act together, mend down fences, and still make some appointments, vital appointments in Northwest and Southwest, then we can still garner the votes. But right now, no minister can boast of winning his constituency in the Southwest.
There's no PDP minister?
No PDP. There's no other PDP. There's no other
all right, let me ask
ministers
you.
Are from PDP.
Yes, from PDP.
And that are the only
I'm asking you,
number one political individuals in the Southwest.
I'm asking this question for emphasis' sake. Now, you are a member of the PDP, and a lot of people in your party have said that the emergence of the APC does not bother them. Do you think they're just saying it for saying sake?
Well, you look at the people who are talking. If they are political appointees, just don't take them serious. But if they are real politicians, people who
so political appointees are not real politicians?
Pardon?
Political appointees are not real politicians?
No, there are some that are.
Many of
the appointees, most of the appointees, either parastatals and ministries, are based on technocracy. A technocrat appoint you. Some are not even PDP. Like Minister of External Affairs was not PDP before he was appointed. And Aganga was a technocrat before he was appointed. Additional. You get my point. So these people cannot win even their wards if it comes to election. So some things have I'm not saying that they should be eased out. You can still keep them there. But there are some appointments that have to be made and bring up real politicians that can still serve as growth poles in those areas.
Now, the PDP has set up a committee to resolve some of the internal crises in the party. Some reconciliatory moves have been made here and there. What is your appraisal of? Do you think that at the end of the day, they have been able to score any points? Have they been able to reconcile members of the party who are bent, as it were, on either leaving the party or destroying the structures that they have been able to put together for the party?
No, nobody can destroy any structure.
Okay.
The only problem is they can carry their structure and go to another party. And it won't pay them. It won't pay them because they will be strangers anywhere they go. Okay? They will be strangers. So, I think the best thing is to still stay in PDP and build it.
One of the things that your party used to say before now, and is still saying, is that PDP is the only party that has a national spread. It's the only party that has national acceptance.
It's true.
The ACN before now and the CPC were seen as regional parties, but now we have a party.
That's why I said
no
yes.
Longer
yeah, that's why I agree with you when you said we have a real competitor now. I agreed with you.
All right. But looking at the profiles of the actors, the main actors in the merger, in the new political party, do you think that there is any possibility that their personalities could affect the chances of the APC as it went?
I think that's their own problem. My prayer is that they fail.
Your prayer is that they fail?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know they constitute a threat to my party because of the stronghold, they have in those areas. Yeah.
But people have said that the PDP as a party at the center for 1999 has not been able in all these years to take Nigeria close, not to the promised land, but close to the promised land, especially in some very key areas. Do you think that, like power, for instance, like power?
Do you want me to respond now?
Yes, I want you to respond.
Nigerians' wants are so numerous and they are insatiable. When you look at what situations were before 1999 and what they are today, and compare Nigeria with other countries, maybe within West African sub-region, we know that we have made significant, improvement. Significant, even in the power we are talking about. It takes, the gestation period of some projects, 10,
are you saying 1999
listen to me.
1999 to date is not enough period
listen to me.
For the PDP-led government to have put power
gestation period
together?
Of some projects, span more than 10 years.
But
in terms of power,
it appears that every administration is starting from the scratch with power. It doesn't look like there has been any kind of mileage recorded by any previous administration.
Because of incontinuity. You see, I think the problem of Nigeria in terms of infrastructure development is that of continuity. The person who has good idea, grandiose, and starts, maybe after 4 years again is derailed, and another person comes in and wants to start from this. Like, if, God forbid, if APC should have their way, all what had been put, on pipeline, on maybe transport, power or energy, and what have you, will be disrupted because they don't believe, it will be starting all over again.
Exactly
this is
my point.
And this is the problem.
Exactly my point. It has been the same party. Yeah. So are you saying that your party does not have continuity in its policies? From
there is continuity. No,
to Jonathan?
There is continuity in policy. Okay? But there were some things that were not gotten right before. For instance, I came out of a roundtable on infrastructure development for Nigeria, integrated infrastructure development. It's now that we are just thinking of how to have a national integrated infrastructure master plan for the country. And what that means is, if state government believes in a certain infrastructure, okay, it must integrate with that of federal, so that there won't be any imbalance, like route imbalance and whatever. So, and if this could be legislated and put in place, soldier come, soldier go, barrack will remain the same. That is, there will be a master plan that everybody will work.
It's time now to take a short break. We are still talking to Sir Kayode Otitoju, who is a politician and a member of the PDP. And we're looking at the emergence of the APC and, of course, the threat that it poses to the PDP. Stay with us. It's still today on STV. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is here today on STV, and we have on set a PDP politician, Sir Kayode Otitoju, talking about the emergence of the APC, and of course the PDP. What are the implications for the political landscape in Nigeria? Now, your party lost the Southwest, and it has been one zone that even you mentioned that the Southwest and the Northwest could be a big problem for the PDP. There has been moves by your party to see how it can put its house in order, especially in the Southwest, which happens to be your immediate constituency. How is that going?
Yes, I think it's going on well, because in 2014 we are going to have discrete elections, that is, an election per state per a period. So we have it in Ekiti, we have it in Osun. And these states are really predominantly PDP. If you can remember that one of the problems Salami had was using the judiciary to erase the election of the winners of those states. So the electorate still remain PDP, all right? The majority that won the election that time still remain PDP. And the person who probably, because of the call log and all sorts of things, was able to change things by then in favor of ACA is no more. He has tendered his retirement letter. And since he did that, performed that atrocities, he never had it easy. And so those two states will be claimed back by PDP if they can feed good candidates.
What about the states of Ogun?
Well,
what about the states of Oyo?
No, those ones will be 2015. I'm talking of 2014 elections.
2014.
Where it will be one man, one vote, and every vote will be counted, and every vote will count. So, once it's one man, one vote, we have the numerical strength, and we have the majority.
When we look at the kind of welcome given to the administrations, both the Rauf Aregbesol's administration and the Ekiti's, Fayemi in Ekiti, when we listen to what the people are saying, what people were so ecstatic when it came to ecstatic about coming on board of this, of the ACN, I'm coming.
You see, I've just mentioned to you. I've just mentioned to you that
saying that
we can
it is
get
predominantly a PDP electorate in these two states. What indices do you use to measure the loyalty of the electorate in these two states?
You see, I told you, if we can feed good candidates, okay? To me, it will be difficult to beat Fayemi, because
good candidates like a Fayoshe, for instance, in Ekiti.
I mean, I'm talking of good candidates. Please, okay. I'm not mentioning names.
Okay.
All right? I'm saying the person there now is very good. Okay, he's a PhD holder. is someone who respects elders, and all these matters are not in Ekiti. So whoever we are feeling to represent our party must be someone who can do it better than him. Okay, must be someone who can relate with grassroots very well, who respects elders, and who knows that there are party leaders, because election revolves around party leaders. Every party leader has.
But if you are going to judge by performance, especially when you said Fayemi, for instance, is a good candidate, as it were, with all his
you see, when
all the things he has,
when you put
on his sleeves.
When you
look at Osun State, for instance,
I'm not
a lot of people, but you are from the southwest, and the two states are quite close. Now, but when you look at the defunct ACN as a party in the southwest, objectively speaking, now I know you're a PDP man, but do you, when you look at performance and what used to be during the days of the PDP governors, what is your honest opinion?
You see,
in terms of performance?
You see, one of the reasons why APC really blows up within Southwest was the mastery of propaganda. They are masters of propaganda. They know how to, make mountains out of a molehill. And but when I'm talking of candidates, and because it matters, if PDP in Ekiti can fit someone who at least could boast of being an administrator of a state before, and who right now is a minister, okay, and who has the financial chest, because really when you are talking of election, apart from your own money or apart from the party money, you must have your own money. You defeat someone like Olubolade, we may have it. Why? Because we have assessed him to be okay in terms of the way he relates with party elders and what have you. But if you feed a hooligan, Ekiti, have some basic, values that they can't compromise.
Now, but you have
what I'm saying
someone for that election.
No, I'm comparing.
Oh, you are comparing.
I'm comparing the candidates with the person they are going to face. Because really, when you look at election now, it is 125% before the election.
But my question,
the gubernatorial interview takes 25%.
My question really was that if the Ekiti people would not, Ekiti and Osun people would not be looking at, we had this person and I've seen his criteria, but this is the person who has done this and done that. Yeah. Going by performance, do you think that PDP will stand a chance going by performance?
If you look at performance, if you want to use it to judge, every person that ever ruled Ekiti, for instance, I use Ekiti because that's my constituency, has performed very well. You start from Fayose. He may have his short callings, but he did very well in terms of infrastructure and what have you. Then Segun Oni. Okay? Segun Oni, in fact, most of the things that Fayemins are doing now were done 90% by Segun Oni, but he didn't complete and commission. So this guy just came and, rounded up and now took the glory. So in terms of performance, I think we have been very lucky with good people, all right? But we are now saying, yes, we were chased out by the law court, and we want to get the state back, okay? Then the person you have to feed has to be someone who can stand and be better than the person you want to defeat. At least that's one way of winning. The same thing in Osun. If you want to head out Aregbesola, you must be thinking of people, Alant Omishore now has a PhD, not the one that they give out with thesis. You get my point?
Okay.
Okay, and probably finance, because finance matters a lot. I give you an example. When I was going for senatorial primaries in the last dispensation, okay, you have to do some things like, just to get the people there, and so you have to envelope some things. But the guy who enveloped
more than you,
got
okay.
Yeah, so really, finance is very important.
Finance is important.
And in an agrarian stroke civil service state like Ekiti, they must be ready to spend money, because some of them.
So
we
also hope that your party will be able to spend more than the APC. Is that what you? All right.
No, I'm just saying.
Thank you very much.
I'm just saying that they must be ready to spend like APC.
Thank you very much. We have been talking to Kayode Otitoju, who is a politician and a member of the PDP from Ekiti State. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chieftain of the party in the Southwest. Today on STV continues with more.